Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is John. I am Orphan Car Garage. I'm located in the state of Massachusetts in the town of Abington, and that's about 30 minutes or so south of Boston. Beautiful day here in Abington. Perfect day to profile for you this beautiful, nicely restored 1964 Chevrolet. This is not just any Chevrolet. This is a Corvair, of course, and this isn't just any Corvair. This is one of those turbocharged Corvairs. Yes, this is a Corvair Spyder. One of the very first mass-produced American turbocharged cars ever. Beat by the Oldsmobile by, I think, a month. The Oldsmobile Jetfire, I believe it was called. Corvair came out just behind the Oldsmobile, making it the second mass-produced turbocharged car in the U.S., lasting longer, far longer than the Oldsmobile did, from 1962 to be exact to 1966. Here we have an example from 1964. This is the last year for what is known as the early model Corvairs that ran from 1960 to 1964, and by many to be thought of as the best of the early models. By that I mean the styling cues and changes that they made for 1964, and also some suspension upgrades, mostly due to a transverse leaf spring that was added to the rear suspension to reduce the camber problems that some of the earlier Corvairs had. One of those issues happened to be one of the issues that Ralph Nader had with these cars. All corrected by 1964, and this is one of those examples. So the turbocharged cars were introduced in 1962 as an option package on the Monza. So the Spyder in 1962 and 1963 was actually an option package that you could order on your Monza, convertible or coupe. In 1964, like we have here, it became its own model. So it's identified on the VIN number, and it's also identified on the body tag in the engine bay. This car is a factory Spyder. Some cars that you'll find out there are clones. This is not one of those. Another thing that's really unique about this car is the color. This is called saddle tan poly. Beautifully done. This car was obviously professionally restored at one time. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of the details on that, but the paint still looks gorgeous. And you see it in that sun. It almost has a bronze look to it with just a slight bit of metallic to make it pop. It's really, really a stunning color and rarely seen on these cars. I've only seen a handful of these 64s in this color. Beautiful paint with just a couple of little flaws, one being right there, a little crack in the paint there. There's a bubble here on the driver's door way down in the corner. I'll show you right there. Other than that, this car is really, really nice. This is a high-end driver quality car. Looks like it's got its original chrome bumpers. There is some I guess you'd call it patina or wear or crazing on the rear bumper there, a little bit on the front too. I'd leave them alone. They look great, but there are reproductions, re-chromed ones available through Clark's Corvair Parts. Clark's Corvair Parts is the premier parts distributor for these cars, and they're right here in Massachusetts. They have a catalog the size of a phone book, and anything that you could think of for these cars is supplied by Clark's. They're a great resource. They're friendly people. They've been in business since the 1970s, and they really know their stuff. So if you own a Corvair, you're going to own a Corvair, you're going to own this Corvair, you're going to want to get to know Clark's Corvair Parts. There's your turbocharged emblem to show everybody behind you that yes, this is a Spyder, if they didn't already know by the exhaust pipe coming out the right rear valance. That's a turbocharged feature that only the turbo cars have. Really, really nice trim, handles. We got a recent inspection sticker to show this car will pass safety inspection here in Massachusetts. 1964 was the only year to have full wheel opener moldings on the early model. The 62s and 63s had just a ribbed rocker panel molding. 64 added the jewelry of the wheel opener molding, kind of a nice feature. Great headlight bezels on this car with nice black paint. A lot of times that paint's all pitted or faded or gone. Really, really good shape. No rust, no signs of any previous rust up here on these eyelids, which is a common spot for these early Corvairs to rot. And again, we've got some crazing on this front bumper as well. I just wanted to show you that. Not bad. Not bad at all. I wouldn't touch it, but if it bothered you, bumpers are available through Clark's, and they're not terribly expensive. 1964 again was the only year to have the Corvair name across the front of the hood, and unfortunately those can be prone to rust where the holes are drilled from the factory. This car does not have that problem. Doesn't look like it ever did. Nice clean hood on this car. Rarely found like that. Really, really sharp car as I stand back. This car came equipped with a lot of factory options, including this uber rare remote control mirror on the driver's side. I've only seen a handful of these, and I've been following Corvair since the 80s. 64 was the first year this option was added to the accessory list, and you rarely saw it. Most people didn't check the box. There's the control for it, and it does work, and it's in really good condition. This car also has soft ray tinted glass all around, a wooden steering wheel, wood grain steering wheel, that really cool electric clock, another rare item up there on the top of the dash that does not work, by the way. And it also came equipped from the factory with front seat belts. So a nicely equipped Spyder. The top on this car is black. There's pictures of it up on my website, orphancargarage.com, and the top is manual. It's not a power top, which I don't have any complaints about because I like the manual tops. They actually go up and down quicker than if they were power. So here's the meat and potatoes of the car, that turbocharged 150 horsepower engine. These cars had 164 cubic inches. The turbocharger and the base engine in these cars would have been an 84 horsepower. No, I'm sorry, in 64 would have been a 95. So a base Corvair in 1964 would have had a 95 horsepower engine. You add that turbocharger to that engine and it goes from 95 to 150. This is the one everybody wants. This is the one everybody wants to see at a car show. Really, really nice shape in here. I'm going to run it for you in a minute. Tune-up parts of all recent, the battery, the fuel pump, everything under here is in really nice order. Does leak a little bit of oil. Most of them all do. As I always say, if a Corvair doesn't leave its mark, there's something wrong. So the car sits a little while. You might get a spot or two under there. Minor, I wouldn't touch it. Like I said, most of them do anyway. I think they did it in the showroom floor. But I wanted to at least point that out. Very, very minor, but it's there. Also, when the car sits for 3 or 4 days or even 2 days, she's a little cantankerous to start. So takes a few tries, a few turns of the key before she fires up. But once she does, she's good for the rest of the day. Really, really, overall, very nicely sorted vehicle. But I like to point everything out. Speaking of that, when we get inside, I'm going to show you the floors. So the undercarriage of this car is very clean and proves that it was nicely restored and professionally restored. The floors are painted. So this car was obviously stripped to a shell and sprayed its original saddle tan. There's the original floors, and they've been painted when it was restored. Nice, nice condition. There is a welded in patch, a small one on the passenger side, which I'll show you. And also, I believe, a small welded in patch on the floor behind the driver's seat. Other than that, all the floors are original and very, very clean. I want to show you this patch and show you how well it was done. Shows you the care that went into the restoration. This was not an amateur restoration. So right there, you can see that patch, that rectangular sized patch. You can see that it was welded in. We got no pop rivets. The rest of the floors under there are all original. Nicely done, good to go. Interior, presumably original. It's got a padded dash also. No rips or tears in the seams. Nice carpeting, door panels. 64, you got a map pocket. Just a nice presentation overall. I'll show you the trunk because I know people are going to want to see that. If I don't show it, someone's going to say something. Trunk is very clean. Bear with me here. There we go. Nice clean trunk bay. Single master cylinder. A lot of people like to upgrade that to a dual. Those kits are available again from Clark's Corvair parts. There's your prerequisite spare belt. You want to carry a spare belt with you at all times with a Corvair. Although I've never had to use it, I think it's an insurance policy to have it. We've got the original jack in the correct location. We've got no rust in here at all. The floor of the trunk is really, really clean. We got a lot of books, service manuals. There's that Clark's Corvair catalog that will be your Bible, and some really cool learning materials here. If you don't know much about Corvairs already, everything you want to know is going to be in those books. And there's even a Corvair only parking sign that's thrown in, and some Spyder floor mats if you'd like to use those. Very, very clean under here. Very presentable. Again, a very high quality driver. You could take this to a car show and not be ashamed either. Weather stripping looks like it was all replaced in the restoration. We'll start it up for you now. Bring that turbo to life. Again, seating is in really nice shape. There's that VIN number that proves that the car is a factory Spyder. 64 was the only year it was its own model. It was no longer an option package. Padded dash is in good shape. There's a little crack right there, if you can see it. There, right there, that's about it. Push button AM radio is an option as well. All the gauges work. That's a standard Spyder dash cluster. That would have been what every Spyder came with, a full set of gauges, and they all work. Comes right to life. Really nice sun visors. 79,325 miles. It says that that's original miles on our Massachusetts title. Tachometer working, all the gauges work. Temperature gauge is slowly coming up there. There you go. 150 horsepower turbocharged. Flat pancake 6-cylinder engine. Sounds great. No crazy noises, no smoke. Not spitting oil out anywhere. Really smooth running car. Nice driving car. Its most recent owner used this only to go to shows and cruise nights. Really enjoyed it. Obviously. Car was a hit everywhere it went. Everybody wanted to see the turbocharger. So many people had never heard of it. These tires are only about 2 years old. Those are the correct 185/8013s. 3-prong spinners are all in great shape. Just a great car. If you're looking for a Corvair convertible, a Spyder in particular, look no further. Orphan Car Garage pricing on this 1964 Corvair Spyder is just $15,900. $15,900. You couldn't come close to restoring this car for that price. Give me a call, 508-954-8090. Check this car out on my website, orphancargarage.com. There's a full gallery of photos there. And of course, like and subscribe to us here on YouTube. We always have cool, fun stuff to show you. Hopefully some more Corvairs in the near future, although they're becoming harder and harder to find this good. So when you find one, don't dilly-dally too long, because I usually sell them pretty quick. I'm become pretty well known for selling Corvairs. If you have one you're looking to sell or consign, give me a call. Until the next one, and there will be another one soon, we'll see you down the road.